Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Welcome to your mystery reading. The first thing that we're going to do is shuffle out a card from the Prismavisions Tarot to get the context or the general energy of your reading. If you'd like to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you're interested, you can also find me on TikTok. The link to that will be in the description. And before I get you your first card, remember that this is a general reading that could be meant for more than one person. So if you're struggling to find meaning in a message, that's okay, just let it go, because it might just be meant for someone else. And if it truly was meant for you, the universe and your spirit guides will make that obvious to you, either sometime during this reading or sometime during your journey. So let's see what your card is. Really interested in what's going to come through in the reading, because I just recorded my first video for the day, and that usually, sometimes that can create the foundation of the rest of the readings that I record today. But I am feeling an emphasis here on foundation, your home life, the people you surround yourself with, your car, your job, everything that gives you a sense of stability and security, whether it's real or not. That's what's significant about this reading. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. This is really highlighting your more sensitive, compassionate, patient side of you. Maybe this side of you really helps you feel more connected with your inner child in some way. But I am feeling here that you may be attracting colder people, colder, less understanding people, because you're cold and not as understanding as you should be to yourself. I think there's really something here about having a strong sense of self-love and self-respect for yourself, obviously, is really going to help you attract people that you deserve. You could be learning lessons right now when it comes to saying no and setting boundaries and standing up for yourself. Whether it's speaking up more or knowing when to speak, or maybe both. I feel like when it comes to your anger, your passionate, fiery energy, your drive, your willpower, your life force, I feel called to say, it's working against you rather than for you. And I feel like that's because when you were growing up, you weren't taught how to, well, first off, you weren't taught to see your strength. You're already strong. You don't need to work towards being strong. You already are strong. And you also, let me think for a second. There's just something here about your strength and really needing to recognize that it already exists, and that you just need to change what you use your courage for, your passionate life force type of energy, your creative energy. I think you're being called to be more mindful of what you invest in, and ultimately more mindful of what you are growing or expanding in your life, whether it's darkness or more light. If you feel like you experience too much darkness in your life, you need to see more of the good within yourself. Definitely something here about seeing your worth. But if you feel like you see too much light where it's blinding and you can be easily fooled, then you could be being called to ground yourself, to really bring yourself down to earth. You could be more comfortable, you could be more introverted and be more comfortable with keeping your thoughts and your emotions to yourself, and that's not a bad thing. Your mind is powerful. But, that's a double-edged sword. It can be powerful for better or for worse. And every time I say for better or for worse, it always makes me think of marriage. So there is something significant here maybe about marriage, but I feel like more generally commitment. It doesn't have to be marriage or religion or anything like that. I think you're really being called here to learn to commit to yourself and your whole health, mentally and physically, emotionally, spiritually, your whole health. Treating your body like a temple, treating your soul like a temple, just really, really pouring into yourself. And I'm just now seeing, like, I mean, you can tell in this picture this water isn't really pouring into her, but that's what I see in terms of interpretation, if that makes sense. This watery energy is just very, very strong. And I just now realized, actually, she's holding a cup and is wearing a crown. So your crown chakra could be significant. Make sure you're paying attention to signs and messages, coincidences, synchronicities, and really trying to understand what the universe and your spirit guides are trying to communicate to you or show to you. You could be even being called to, get your own deck of cards, make your own cards, communicate with the universe more in the way that you feel called to. With the cup here, I think you're really, really being called to focus on filling your own cup to the point that it's overflowing, and naturally you will have more energy and motivation to invest in things that mean the most to you, especially when it comes to your dreams. This Queen of Cups really, really makes me think of like someone who has dreams, but since it's a more mature queen rather than a page, she is also realistic. She balances out this watery, emotional kind of energy with, airy type of logical type of energy, if that makes sense. I think since this is a Queen of Cups, you're really being called to focus on your inner world, so that way you can manifest an external reality or an internal world that reflects who you are on the inside. You really, really deserve to be surrounded by people, places, and things that are meant for you, that deserve to be somehow involved with you. Next, I'm going to get a couple cards from this deck that I got from a bigger box of cards. Just going to look deeper into this. I think when it comes to stabilizing your foundation, I think knowing what to do moving forward in that way, I guess, it really, really starts with finding balance emotionally. It says, I choose to rise above this because nobody or nothing will take my future and happiness away from me. I feel like you're really being called here to tap into a more determined, go-getter type of energy. And I think what's really going to tap you into that energy is believing that whatever you're going after is possible. Of course, be realistic, don't hurt anyone, don't hurt yourself. But your dreams, if you want to make a difference in the world, or I'm just going to keep it vague, since this is like a general reading, like dreams-wise, everybody's going to have different dreams. But I think the universe wants you to know that you're not the only dreamer out there. You're not the only person who feels like they're the only person who can see the solution to the world's problems. I think that there's this common distortion, or it's this common idea that we're alone, but we're really not. There are people in this world who are just as determined to be heard as the universe and your spirit guides are calling for you to be. I also feel maybe for someone, you need to balance out this determined energy with patience as well. Maybe while you're also being determined to go after your dreams, you're being called to be determined to be patient, because I feel like being patient that's required when it comes to making your dreams come true. I'm about to see 10:10 on the clock. There it is, right there. The universe and your spirit guides really, really, really want to connect with you. They want to help you make your inner voice louder, your intuition stronger, and give you a stronger sense of being and direction in life. This is really making me feel like I'm talking to somebody who needs to get out of their head, understand what causes your overthinking and figure out how you can find a solution to do that less, or to ease your racing thoughts. I think whenever your mind is racing, that's the best time to communicate with the universe and your spirit guides, because that's when you're going to be the most receptive. Which is interesting because the Queen of Cups here is a receptive energy. I just saw 111. So definitely trusting yourself is going to make you more available to receive more from the universe. I feel like not having faith in yourself is really, really holding you back, and it feels like it's putting a wall between you and your dreams. The universe also wants you to take your time when it comes to learning how to trust yourself. Remember that you're on a journey and you will get to your destination as long as you keep moving in the right direction. So don't give up on yourself. Be patient. Keep trying to understand yourself and your feelings, your thoughts, and where you feel called to invest your fiery, passionate, creative type of energy. Wow. You have empower yourself. I kind of got I heard that say it with your chest. I can't remember if it's from a Kevin Hart comedy special or whatever. Comedy shows could be significant for someone. Maybe you could be being called to be a comedian. I just saw 12:12, communication and boundaries. I feel like for someone, if you specifically want to be a comedian, learning how to communicate and set boundaries is really going to help you understand how to get into that field, I guess, is what it's called, or that job. But even if it's not being specifically a comedian, I feel like those messages could apply to you too. I think stepping into your power and taking more control over your mind and ultimately your life is what you need to do. I'm really, really feeling this Chariot kind of energy. The Chariot has the number 7 on it. So that, for me, the number 777 could be significant, or the lottery. Let me think for a second. The number 7 is it's a message from the universe that the more that you invest in yourself mentally, emotionally, and maybe spiritually, the more that you are able to receive from the universe. That's really interesting because that's always the message that I have for the number 7. I just think your mental health really, really needs to be the main focus in your life, and that really just got confirmed for me with seeing the number 333. You really need to allow yourself to grow and give yourself a fair chance to grow into the kind of person that you feel and know that you are. You're definitely being called to not be afraid to invest in your morals. I think you're being called to align your actions with what you truly believe is right, because you really, really can make a difference, even if it's indirect and small. It doesn't matter how big or small of a difference you feel like you can make. At the end of the day, it all matters. I'm not sure what that noise is in the background, if you can hear it, but I hope it's not too annoying. Let me think to see if I can get anything else from this reading. I really, really like this. I choose to rise above this because nobody or nothing will take my future and my happiness away from me. I think recognizing, having a closer connection with your future and your happiness feels really, really connected with having a closer connection with yourself. I think that's the biggest relationship you need to focus on right now. And I just saw 4, 5, 6. So you're being called to focus on that relationship with yourself for a reason. But that will be the end of your reading. I really hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you liked it, hit the like button to show me that. That is the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can do so by donating through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any. I'd really love to connect with you more. And thank you so much to those of you who have shown your support thus far. It really means a lot to me, and it definitely does make a difference. And the last thing that I want to say is thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.